Welcome.
Oh, man. I'm already giggling, and I have no reason to be giggling. Man, welcome to Pardon Me, Alex, the only lumberjack basketball podcast on the market because just because. I mean, I don't have a better reason for that. It's been a wild weekend and a long day. Obviously, this episode is going to be about UTRGV game that happened on Wednesday of last week. We were going to try and record on Thursday. Our internets were being weird, so we just didn't. And so now we're finally having the time to do it because we've had such a long weekend today on Sunday. So without further ado or any other delays, we are just going to dive right in. Let's get it going. We're back. Jacqueline,
What?
we had a hell of a week. Oh, good God Almighty! Wait, who was that? I didn't see it. Scotty. I should have known. Should have known. What a attention whore. I love it. Welcome everyone again to Pardon Me, Alex, Lumberjack Basketball Podcast. You know the drill. You know the routine. We changed our background for some juice action in the back, so now you can see juice right there on our background. If you're listening, you just have to imagine a picture of juice of AJ. That's what our background is. But yeah, so today we're talking about the UTRGV game. Hopefully tomorrow afternoon, early evening at some point, we will record the Seattle game from last night, Saturday night. 2 wins in a row, so loving it, going well, back on our winning ways. But yeah, so let's just dive right in. Jacqueline, you want to start us off with your notes?
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of history between us and UTRGV. However, we did play them like way back in the 70s, I think. I'm going to look real quick. In the 80s, we played them twice in 86 or 86 and 87. Anyway, our history with them is going into that game was 3 wins, 2 losses. Our largest margin of victory against them was 30 points, 93-63 in 2022. Smallest margin of victory to them was in the same year last year. We won by only 11 points, 86-75. So yeah, we played them twice in the 86-87 season for some reason, then randomly in 06, then of course twice last year as the first year in the WAC. So
interesting. Very, very interesting. And I realized that the WAC standings are obviously going to be different because everybody's had games after that. So there's really no point in going over it. But the WAC resume seating is pretty much still the same where we're at number 6. We're at the number 6 seed and slot there. The top 5 above us have been pretty much the same as well. There hasn't been a lot of change there either. So, I mean, honestly, it's just one of those things where I hate to say this, and I really hope I'm wrong. I just don't see a lot of movement going up unless the top 5 teams above us in the resume seating have just a disastrous second half of the conference, which very well could happen. But I really hope it does so that we're not at the 6th seed going into the WAC conference tournament, because that means that we don't have a bye. We'll be playing on Tuesday, and that's just a long tournament for us.
We don't want that at all.
No, yeah. So if we can finagle a way to get the 5 seed or even the 4 seed somehow, some way, that would be ideal. That way we at least get a 1 bye at least. But yeah, fingers crossed that some things happen in our favor. We keep winning at home and on the road, and some of the teams above us just have an absolute falling apart.
Yeah.
Let's hope. But yeah, so we'll go over the standings and the seedings more in-depthly on the Seattle U game, because that just, again, doesn't make sense for us to go over it because, yeah, it's not updated. Okay, so tailing right into the statistics.
Yeah, so we had the same starters we've had the last, I think, like 2 games or so. Trell, Nana, AJ, Jalil, and Rati in place of Nigel and Day from our usual starting 5. We did win 83-66. The attendance on Wednesday night was 2,180. Sean Kennedy's stat section are.
Before you start that, I would like to say I listened to Keller's presser when he was talking with Nigel after this game, and he did mention the starting lineup, and he did talk about how him not starting Nigel wasn't like a knock on Nigel. It was literally, and it wasn't going to affect his minutes whatsoever. He goes, we literally have 8-9 players that could be starters easily, which I can back up as well. It was mainly just the fact that we had lost 2 games in a row, and he wanted to shake things up a bit and not be like so predictable, I guess, with the starting lineup and kind of just throw something different at them as a lineup. So that was kind of the reason why he started Nigel, or didn't start Nigel. But honestly, again, it did not really affect his minutes at all. He played pretty much the same amount of time as he normally did. And like he was explaining in his presser, he goes, it shouldn't matter who starts. When they do ESPN top 10 plays or whatever at night, they don't show who the top, your top 5 starters are. They show who makes the plays during the games. And so it shouldn't matter who starts, and it shouldn't matter to the guys, and it shouldn't matter to the fans either. So it doesn't matter to me. Again, I don't care who starts up and lines up in the first 5. All it matters is who does what during the game, and that we come out with a W. That's all that matters for me.
Totally. Yeah, the minutes of the stats should matter more than the starting, because that doesn't really mean anything besides just getting listed as a starter.
Yeah, that's literally it. So I just wanted to point that out if people were wondering why during this game that Nigel wasn't starting, or why the difference of lineup. If you listen to the post-game presser, Keller pretty much just talks about it just very openly. So
yeah, Dad told me he had listened to him say that same thing too. And honestly, as often as Keller likes to sub, within a minute you're not going to be in the game anyway. So
exactly,
good start.
Pretty much. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there just in case people are wondering, well, why? So that's pretty much why. But yeah, you can go back to Sean Kennedy's stats now.
Okay. All right. Our field goal percentage this game against UTRGV was 45%. Our 3-point percentage was 35.7. Our free throws were 68.6. Not super amazing, but we did have 40 points in the paint. We had 29 points off of turnovers, 15 second chance points, 18 fast break points, 55 bench points.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we'll pick up on starters. I feel like that's helpful. That's going to help the bench points be a little bit higher. We had 40 rebounds. We had 15 offensive and 25 defensive. We had 23 fouls, 18 turnovers. They did have 25, so that was good. They have more than us. We have 14 steals this game, 3 blocks. So we had several game leaders. It was very nicely spread around. So the leading scorer was Matt with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Pilgrim's Pride player of the game, they named Day that, which he had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 3 steals. So, he had something in every category. Nigel had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Nana had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. And Robbie had 9 points and 4 rebounds. Really good game for Robbie there.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I said, I don't disagree with Day getting the Pilgrim's Pride player of the game, because he did have something in every single stat. But I might would have thrown it to Matt on that one. Since he was the leading scorer, he had something in almost every stat line. And Day-Day's gotten player of the game, lots of games, but
Right.
I might have thrown that one to Matt, but
right. Spread the wealth around a little bit. I tend to agree with your choice as well, Matt, for being top scorer. I would also throw Nana in the ring for having 11 points, 4 rebounds. He had a hell of a game that night as well. So, but I love the fact that this is a good problem to have. You know, the fact that it's hard to pick a player of the game sometimes because we have so many guys in double digits or in, you know, so many guys spreading the ball around and having high points. I mean, this is a good problem to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, you know, 4 guys with double digits, Robbie with 9. I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, don't hate it. Don't hate it one bit. Oh, Rick. Hey, ladies, good to see y'all. Talk about the game. Yes, Rick. Love to see you. Hope you're doing well.
I think he's about to have some cold days coming up next week. So,
yikes. Well, hopefully you have some lumberjack sweaters to keep you warm and cozy at night.
Yeah, bundle up because I think there's about because I think even it's going to hit Dallas maybe the next few days. Some bad winter storms.
Yikes. I'm sure it's that time of year, man, that everybody just starts to get absolutely pounded. So yeah, rolling right into our feats of strength. Definitely, like I was saying before, the fact that we had so many guys in double digits, so many guys had, you know, really good games, spreading the points around, just absolutely taking over the game versus UTRGV. And even Keller said in the presser, which I thought was kind of something to recognize and mention that, you know, and I kind of always said this too last podcast was UTRGV, like they're better than what their wins and losses kind of portray and show. Like they're a good team. Like they fight, they're hard. They're a hard team to play. They're kind of unpredictable. They have a really good team, especially in one of their leading scorers for this game was Justin Johnson. He had 25 points. So again, he had a double-double. Or no, he didn't. I'm sorry. But he had 25 points. He was our leading scorer. And so they're a really good team, but obviously they just struggle a bit. They're 1-7 in the WAC. So not doing the best this season, but so that shouldn't diminish the fact that we did absolutely hand it to them a little bit by double-digit points. But yeah, so other feats of strength for me, obviously, I mean, let's just go back.
The first thing that was literally one of the first things on my list, that they spread the scoring around so well. I love to see that.
You really do. I mean, and even we had Trell at 7. You had, I mean, everybody that played scored. Everybody that played scored, and that's something that anybody loves to see when they watch basketball, is the fact that everybody that got in, no matter how many minutes they played, whether if it was 9 minutes or 25 minutes, they scored.
Also everyone who played got at least one rebound.
Yeah.
So
that's true as well. I mean, for example, let's see who played the least minute. Derek played 9 minutes and he scored 4 points in those 9 minutes. He had 3 rebounds in those 9 minutes. He was 2 of 7 from field goal. I mean, those 9 minutes, those meant something. You know what I mean? Let's see who else. Robbie played for 11 minutes and he scored 9 points again, almost a point per minute.
Yeah.
Well, I have more to talk about with Robbie. But right now I'm just talking about scoring and our points right now and our stats. Bench points, nuts. 55 bench points.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that goes back to what Keller said about the fact that it doesn't matter if you start or you come off the bench. Like, everybody on this team contributes, and that's just another reason why. I mean, look at this. We had Kyle, Day-Day, Nigel, Robbie, Derek, and Jalen all come off the bench. And Kyle played 17 minutes. Day-Day played 22. Nigel set 19. Robbie, I said 11. Derek was at 9, right? And JJP was at 17 minutes. So, I mean, that's just an insane amount of points to come from the bench. I mean, what is that? That's over half of our points came from the bench.
Yeah.
you know? So just an absolute fantastic showing, not just from the starters, but also the bench players as well. Points in the paint being back up, obviously where we like to see him at 40 points or more. Love to see it. And then those 29 points off turnovers, like that's big for me. Had 18. Let's see, what was the turnover? They had 25 turnovers. God, I love it. Whenever their turnovers are more than ours.
Yeah.
Two thumbs up, baby. 2 thumbs up, baby. Just doing a quick check again. They had 30 personal fouls. We only had 23. Again, when we don't have as many personal fouls as them, that makes me happy. And then those rebounds, baby, man, 40 rebounds. That's a stat that we don't see very often.
I love to see that many rebounds.
Holy moly. Don't see that very often at all. Yeah, the statistics like the field goal, the 3-point, the free throw, those could be better. They weren't amazing, but that's just semantics at this point, just mincing words. I mean, I could care less about those statistics. Our team played well. And obviously based off of the point spreads, it was a team win. So love to see it, man. You know what else I love to see? Where the heck's that at? Freaking Day Hall with 3 steals, AJ with 3 steals, Kyle with 2 steals, and Jalen with 2 steals. I mean, I am loving that's 14 steals. We had double their steals. Like
half of my notes are steals. I have JJP had an excellent steal. I put it in all caps. Nana had a steal and a dunk that I made a note of. Day, a great steal, and Ann won. Like half my notes are about people getting steals.
I love that. Speaking of Day, you just mentioned Day. Speaking of Day, man, oh man, those last couple games, they kind of, they took him out of the game a little bit. He couldn't score as well, especially in that Sam Houston game, and he couldn't get barely anything in the basket or in the paint there. But man, Day was back working in that paint, driving hard, doing what Day does. Doing what Day does.
Well, and I think he also took 2 charges this game. That's what I wrote down.
I believe you're right. Yes.
Great defensively too.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I know I've said this and Jacqueline has said this before, but even if someone isn't scoring, that does not mean they're not contributing somewhere else on the court. Like, for example, with the guys like Trell, he had total 7 points, but he was all over the court. He was getting rebounds. He had 3 rebounds. He had one of those steals. He had 2 assists. So he was making moves everywhere else, right? And still he scored 7 points. He had a 3-pointer, and so he was still out there scoring, but he was definitely doing his part on defense as well. And all 3 of his rebounds were defensive rebounds. So let me just bring that back up. Then you have guys like Jaleel. He had 2 points the entire game. That's fine. He had 5 rebounds. Love to see it. He also had 2 blocks. Love to see it. 2 blocks. He played 11 minutes. 11 minutes, and he had 5 rebounds. He had 2 blocks, and he had those 2 points. And he's still coming off of a major injury. So you can't ask for much more from the kid. He's still getting his feet wet, still trying to get his bearings on offense and on defense. So again, can't ask for much, or can't ask for more from him. Let me bring up Nigel real quick, and I'm sure you have other things to talk about Nigel with. Nigel has been playing lights out. I don't know at one point during the season, it went from, he's playing pretty good to holy shit. He kicked it up a notch into high gear, and now he's just playing with his ass is on fire. And I love to see it. I mean, he hustled so hard during this game. He got his freaking contact knocked out twice. Which brings me to 1-800-contacts.com. Can we get some NIL deals for Nigel or something? I don't know, but I mean, and then can we also invent a sports contact that just has like better grip? I don't know, like so that these contacts don't get knocked out for these players. But again, that's when you know that you're hustling hard when your freaking contact gets knocked out of your eye. That's not easy. That's twice that happened.
I know.
And Jacqueline couldn't watch him put it back in, and then I got a sweet ass shot of him having to put it back in.
Anybody who knows me, I could not watch it. Ugh.
Jacqueline doesn't do contacts at all. Like she struggles watching me put mine in, like when we're on trips and stuff, and I'm putting my contacts in.
I don't do eye stuff. I didn't start wearing any kind of eye makeup until my senior year when we had our senior pictures done at school because one of my girlfriends put it on for me. Like I can barely touch my own eyes.
Yeah. It was just funny when we went on this trip. It was last year in February, I believe. We went to Jose's wedding in NOLA, and I was having such a contact debacle. And Jacqueline's like, I wish I could help you. I wish I could help you, but I can't touch your eye. I can't look in your eye. I'm like, it's fine. I'll go. It's fine. There's other people. I'll figure it out. Help. And that was when I first started wearing contacts, and I was also having obviously difficulties. I couldn't figure it out. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But she couldn't help me. She was like, "Oh, I can't do it. I gotta go. I can't." Anyway,
yeah. You know, he's always been a very like stable player.
Consistent.
But, and the last few games, it's like he's always competing for player of the game or high point.
100%.
Love to see it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Would you like to discuss our boy Robert?
So let's tell what Sean Kennedy's quote was.
Go ahead.
Last 2 minutes brought to you by Robbie Armbruster. Y'all, and when I watched it back, I made a list of literally everything he did. It was insane. Within literally like 2 minutes.
Right.
2 made shots, a tie ball, and then a steal that ended in free throws.
Yeah.
Within like 2 minutes.
I know. Robbie's wild, man. I have other things to talk about with Robbie, but I'm gonna have to save that for the Seattle podcast because I have a bone to pick with him. But he is a wild man. He is a wild man. He goes from coast to coast. He has zero, like, he gives zero shits about his own like body or welfare. He literally is just like diving head first into things. And he just is an absolute wild man. And then you add in the fact that he's just a big old shit talker. He will shit talk anyone. He'll shit talk your grandma. He'll shit talk the refs. He'll shit talk the lumberjack player sitting next to him. Like, he will shit talk anybody. And I love it to the point where I'm like, Robbie, you're on the bench, and if you get a tee, I'm gonna kick your ass. But yeah.
Him and that one ref who we've had him a lot, and he always seems like a really nice, cool guy. But I don't even think the two of us could piece together what was happening. But I guess something was said about him trolling Rati, which I don't know. We missed whatever that was. But then Robbie from the bench and the ref are like talking and laughing back and forth, and we're literally sitting there cracking up, like.
Yeah, they're just going at each other. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm glad this ref is cool because I feel like any other ref would be like, all right, son, sit down. Like, just would be, kind of like an a-hole about it. But yeah, Robbie at the end of the first half was just a nutcase. He was everything for him was going right. Everything for him was going in. He was killing it. And it just stinks because, again, he's still nursing injuries. He's still coming back from injuries. So he can't play as much and as long as some of the other guys because of this reason. If he was at full tilt 100%, he is and will and can be the most dangerous guy on that court. That's all I'm saying, because he is a absolute wild card. Wild card. He will fight for a rebound until there's nothing left to rebound. Like, he will literally put his whole body into it and knock everybody and their mama to the ground. He don't care if you're in a lumberjack uniform or someone else. Like he will get that rebound no matter what. He's just wild, and I love to see it. Let's see. What else? Jax, anything else?
I think the last major thing was, well, two small notes on Trell. That buzzer 3 was great.
Yes, I wrote that down as well. Yes.
He had an amazing reverse layup that was so good.
I wrote that down too. We both saw the same thing. Yeah.
So Matt, and this is more just irony, maybe.
Are you going to talk about Matt?
Yeah. I won't, because who knows exactly, but he seemed to have gotten hit either in the upper leg or in a very precarious position.
I'll say it. Family jewels.
So yes. Feel for him on that. But man, he played amazing, like directly after that.
Yeah, literally. He hustled hardcore.
We were all like, ooh, that's looks painful. That's not good. And then the next like 6 possessions, he was just like on fire.
Literally. I know. Yeah. He was maybe working off a little bit of pain there or something, a little bit of adrenaline or I don't know. But yeah, he hustled hardcore. He made that layup, ran down, got the charge, and then got hit in the groin during the charge. And then literally got up and then hit a 3 on the very next play.
Yeah, it was like bam, bam, bam right after that.
Wild, yeah.
Wild. But my last one is we loved the energy from Nana on that dunk attempt. And I don't care. I don't even care if he misses every one that he goes at like that. I still want him going like that because one day it's going to hit. I think that one maybe got a little like contested or something, but you're not going to make it unless you go for it. So I want him going like that every time.
I love the aggressiveness of it. You know, even the fact it was contested, there was a guy literally right by him and underneath him, but go for it, Nana, because many times out of 10, you're probably going to get fouled, babe.
Now that I've seen the energy from Nana, I want it every time.
I want him to bring it every time. And you know, he's still working on it. He's still working hard. I know there's still a lot of things he has left to learn, you know, things to clean up, passes into the lane, you know, losing the ball, things like that. But when we see stuff like that, we get pumped. If he would have hit that slam, the roof of William R. Johnson would have freaking blown off its hinges. I mean, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Yeah, absolutely no doubt.
It would have gone wild.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And of course, you know, you already mentioned Trell, but I have to talk about my boy Trell again. I mean, his on-court presence, especially when he's hitting them, dear God Almighty. You know, him, Robbie, and AJ can get people fired up in a matter of seconds with a great layup, a good three-pointer, a dunk. Just seeing the passion and the excitement and the just absolute fire in their belly from that can literally make the chillest grandma at 95 frantic and freak out. You know what I mean? Like, I love their energy and I love their enthusiasm and I love their love for the game. And I just, you know, very excited for the last few weeks here. Oh, for goodness sake, Scotty. Last few weeks here of basketball.
Y'all could hear him. He's doing like a chirpy purring noise right now.
You know, here's the thing. For the people that are listening, Scotty the cat is in Jacqueline's lap again, being an attention whore with the biggest resting bitch face I've ever seen, but yet he's so happy. He's the coolest and most approachable cat I've ever met, but his resting bitch face is elite.
It's so good. I gotta post that one picture on social anyway.
You really do. You really do. Oh my God. All right. Anything else? Obviously, the halftime show on Wednesday for UTRGV. I don't know if that was planned ahead of time, but it just kind of worked out that we were playing the Vaqueros, and then we had some like Spanish, Hispanic, Mexican heritage roping team come out and do their amazing rope tricks.
It was wild. The little ones were so cute. There was
so cute.
Yeah, there was one little boy is probably like 7 or something. The other one looked like he was like 3.
Oh, he was. I mean, the rope was bigger than him. Yeah, no. Whoever planned that or found them, absolutely love half times like that. They're so fun. They're energetic. They give us something to watch and do during halftime, and not just twiddle our thumbs. But yeah, more half times like that, 100%. So definitely feat of strength. Love it. 2 thumbs up on that.
The dog one is still my favorite, but
dog one will always be your favorite. I know, but I really enjoyed that roping one on Wednesday. I thought that was so fun and different. We've never seen that before. It was interesting, very cool. Also, as always, 2 thumbs up on happy hour up in the top corner. Getting a $3 beer is like unheard of at a sporting event. So 2 thumbs up to Corey for doing that and doing happy hour up there, because Jesus, Pete, $3 beers, insane. I know. All right, anything else you have?
No.
All
right, moving right along to
with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about it. You.
All right, Jack, start us off.
So my very first one is, and this was, I mean, at the very least on the replay. I don't know if it was like this live on the live feed or not, but when I watched it back on the replay, the ESPN feed didn't start until the game clock was at like 18 minutes left in the first half. So there was like a good 5 to 10 minute chunk that wasn't there. Because usually the live feed will start and they'll be like wandering around on the court and you'll see them introduce people and and then the game will start, and it was already 2 minutes in on the game clock. So whatever, I don't know what happened. Hopefully live it didn't do that, so people actually saw the whole game.
Interesting. Okay.
My random fashion notes.
Oh, I was gonna bring this up, dude. Okay, good.
Was not a fan of the rat tail at all. And then
no, don't just skip over that. We got to talk about the rat tail for a second.
Well, we'll come back and talk about that. But my other one was about halfway through the game. I look over to Alex and I'm like, that dude's shorts under his shorts are SpongeBob.
Yes, they were.
And we think that his shoes were SpongeBob too.
I'm like 90% sure they were SpongeBob. Yeah.
So yeah, we can cover the rat tail first.
Okay. All right. So the guy number 4, that was the first thing on my note list, was rat tail. Literally rat tail, number 4. Number 4, let me go back to the list here. Number 4 his name was Will Johnston, and he was from Australia. Not saying that that's like a typical fashion move for Aussies. I don't know.
So I didn't see any when I was there.
Yeah, I don't know. But the rat tail was an interesting choice. Not sure why, if there's a reason behind it. Cool for him, Will. Cool for you. I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I didn't like it. Is that a thing? Like it didn't.
You were just different.
Yeah. I like weird hairstyles. I don't know why. Well, okay. We'll talk about that during Seattle game. But just get ready for that one.
I don't like weird hair stuff.
Jacqueline doesn't like weird hairstyles. She doesn't like beards on guys' faces. She doesn't like facial hair barely at all. Whereas the more hair, the better.
I got enough hair on my head to cover all. Got all the boxes checked.
That's fair. The rat tail, again, interesting move. I didn't hate it. Again, I don't know what the word is for that. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it on him.
You were just apathetic.
I was apathetic. Like, it didn't bother me, but it was just a weird choice. Weird choice. Back to SpongeBob. Okay. I don't remember what number had the SpongeBob.
I think it was number 5. I could be wrong. No, It wasn't him. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But it was just, again, a weird choice. And so then I go back and I'm trying to think, and I don't even know of if there is I guess not. Like, I guess there's no, like, because they get such a hard on, these refs, about tucking shirts in, and then they get hard on about, like, the undershirt. It doesn't matter about the shorts under the shorts.
I meant to look that up and see if there was a rule, but I forgot. So I'll look it up for the next one so we'll know. But I mean, which again, like, I wouldn't even call it out if there was. I just thought it was dumb. And like, if you're gonna wear something else under there, I feel like you could come up with something better than SpongeBob. Like I don't know, maybe because I'm the generation that was just like barely too old for SpongeBob when SpongeBob was a thing. I've just like always thought it was annoying as shit. Like, I just don't understand. I don't think it's funny. I never thought it was funny. I'm not into it. And like, I don't know what kind of girls you're pulling at 20 something wearing SpongeBob tidies.
You never know.
I don't know.
People out there, us girls are kind of weird sometimes. So maybe there's a girl out there that has an absolute, like, obsession sexually for her SpongeBob. I don't know. Maybe she's attracted to square shaped things. I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, I watched SpongeBob a little bit when I was younger. I didn't watch it a lot. Wasn't like obsessed with it. I thought it was goofy and funny in my brain. That's just me, because my humor is just ridiculous. So again, but I don't know if it's the move for under your basketball shorts during a collegiate basketball game. That's my thing. I don't know. I just don't know if it's the move. And then also to wear your matching SpongeBob shoes.
If the shoes are SpongeBob, I think that's even weirder for me, honestly.
It's just too much SpongeBob, bro.
Because who's making these basketball shoes with SpongeBob on them?
Babe, I don't know, but there are some weird there are some weird shoes out there. They got like pizza shoes. There's some weird design shoes. We looked it up one day in my class for some fucking reason. I don't know, but so yeah, I wasn't a fan of. And then and he wasn't the only one. Like even the guy from Ozzy, the Ozzy had on like different colors. He had like blue shorts on.
Oh, I don't remember that. I just thought his shorts were really tight. Weren't they?
Oh, his entire uniform was tight. He was wearing a schmedium.
Yeah, it looked like it shrunk in the wash or something.
His shorts were tight. He had on like some tight shorts. He had on a tight like top, and again, as a girl, I didn't mind it, but at the same time, how is that? Like, you might have some that's like constricting the flow a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, so that's fashion tips from Alex and Jax. Let's see what else. So one thing I want to talk about is, like, I thought we had some really, and here it's like a compliment sandwich almost. Like, we had a really great, amazing ball movement on offense in order, obviously, to get the ball in the net, and it was great and wonderful. But I don't understand the lack of, but we can't get back on defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Connect there.
I feel like that relates to one of my points, because while we did beat them by double digits, there was a point in the game where we let them get back pretty close, considering by how much we were ahead at halftime and at the end. And so my note, I just put, I don't know how we let them get back close, but we did. And I think it was kind of what you're saying. Like, we were doing really great on offense, but then just not every possession where we're getting back on defense. So then it's like,
give them easy buckets
for buckets and letting them get easy ones, then going to sneak back in closer where they shouldn't be.
100%. Looking at some of their stats, like I said earlier, Justin Johnson, number 1, had 25 points. Number 15, Dalen Williams had 14 points, 6 rebounds. He fouled out of the game.
That kid could shoot. He was 100% from the 3-point line. 3 for 3.
He could shoot. 100%. He had 3 steals. He had an assist. But yeah, he did foul out. They had 2 guys foul out of the game, which obviously is good for us. But still, Then he had Aaron Freeman, number 11. He had 8 rebounds himself. So there were they had a lot of good moments in their game as well. Obviously, guy had 25 points for Christ's sakes, but not the best ball movement and spreading the ball around. Let's see. Looking at the rest of their stats, 16 fast break points. We had 18. Other than that, I mean, we had the lead the entire game, which was great. I don't have a lot of negatives on us. I just feel like, again, we had great ball movement on offense. And then there were multiple instances, like we said, that they just didn't get back on defense, and that allowed UTRGV to stay in there for a few possessions and allowed them to get back in. So that's just frustrating, man. So my mom is in there yelling hardcore for this football game right now. Like, I am so shocked that y'all cannot hear her through the 2 doors I have closed.
Well, one of my cats is meowing from somewhere, and I can't figure out what's happening.
She's screaming. Well, it's probably because the freaking game is tied 20-20 with 56 seconds left in the game. So that's probably why she's in there screaming. And I know that we're recording this while this game is on, so that's why probably people are watching that and not this, and I get it. Okay, what other grievances you have?
I really don't understand what's happening with my cat, but that's all right. We're almost done. So this is my last one. And when a player on an opposing team did this, and I can't even remember that kid's name. What's the Australian kid on ACU? Tobias Cameron.
Tobias.
Okay, so I talked shit about Tobias with his mouthpiece and having it hanging out of his mouth all the time and how gross it was, and I was grossed out. But our lovely little AJ.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the difference. I'm not going to talk shit about him because I'm not grossed out with AJ doing it, because it's AJ. It's not freaking Tobias Cameron, who like irks me with everything that he does.
Yeah. His whole presence, his whole living, just breathing your air, your same air, he just annoys you.
But I'm going to say, I upset him now. I upset Scotty from pounding my fist. But after the game, I'm like, AJ, please keep it in your mouth, because number one, it's not the same as I said with Tobias. It's not doing you any good if you don't have it in there. And I'm really concerned when you're running down the court with it hanging out of your mouth that you're going to run into someone or get fouled and choke on it. So if you need the mouth guard, please wear it. Oh, Dennis, we were so happy to have seen you this weekend too. Wish we had more time to hang out, but it was a weekend. AJ is our hero too, and that's why I very whatever. I don't even know.
You feel so strongly about him protecting his teeth.
Yeah, I'm like, please don't have it hanging out of your mouth and get ran into and choke on something.
I know. I agree.
Nervous.
We felt so strongly about it that I leaned over because the team doctor sits right across from us on the aisle. I literally leaned over and I was like, Doc, do us a favor. Tell AJ to shove that damn mouth guard back in his mouth and leave it there, because it's driving us nuts that he has it out of his mouth, and what good is it? He goes, I know, I don't get it. Sometimes he's just as frustrated with them as we are. So I just would like to point that out.
Probably 10 times more frustrated.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh God. I have things to talk about in the next podcast about this. Yeah. Because he'll tell me things, like he'll lean over and like tell me things, and I ask him questions and he'll tell me some things, and I'm like, God dang it, Bobby. Anyway, so gets irritating, I swear. But yeah, no, Dennis, I agree. We love AJ so much, and he is such a sweet boy. He really is. He comes over every game, gives us hugs. We tell him, great game, and he's so appreciative of it as well. So we love AJ. And I mean, honestly, we didn't have a lot of grievances for this game. We usually don't when we win. Because of course, we won, so there's not much to grieve about. But Yeah. So one word to describe this game, Jacqueline Noel Parton.
So I did not come up with one for this game.
Okay,
Wait,
no,
give me a second because I know what I'm trying to think of, but I'm just gonna say because I can't think of a better word, but sharing. About the distribution of points. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. I love that. Mine is going to be. I was going to say rat tail as a joke, but that's not it. No, mine's going to be. No, mine's going to be. I think I've used hustle before, so I'm just going to say. What's another word for hustle? Fight. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's lame. That's lame as hell. I'm not using that. I'm gonna say SpongeBob.
Oh, that's a good one. It was very distracting. Once
It was so distracting. Once you pointed it out to me, I couldn't look away.
Yeah, I couldn't unsee it.
Couldn't unsee it. Dennis says we're the deepest team in the WAC.
Don't jinx us, but I think now that we're healthy, I do think so. I agree.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, based off the game from last night, and I know obviously that's a whole nother podcast, but I watching us play last night, I have all the faith in the world that we will finish the season extremely strong and head into WAC Vegas, fingers crossed, with a bye. But we really have to continue on this trajectory that we're on right now. Otherwise, that shit ain't gonna happen. But again, fingers crossed, being positive, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. So a few things I want to remind. We literally have the six men. I mean, yeah. It's true. We do. We have multiple 6 men that can come off the bench and completely change the game for us. But yeah. So a few reminders. Those who are listening and those who are still with us. First off, we have coming up on February the 18th weekend is the Heckler Hayes alumni game. It doesn't have to, you don't even have to be, didn't have to be a heckler. You didn't have to be in Purple Haze when you were a student. If you just want to come back because you're invigorated about Lumberjack and Lady Jack basketball and you're like, I want to go and get rowdy and wild. Well, this is the game for you. So it's going to be on February 18th weekend. Friday night, we're going to have a little get together at the brewery for those who are in town early, or if you're staying the whole weekend. If you're just going to want to come down for just the game on Saturday, you can do that too. But we'll have a whole day, not whole day tailgate, but a good portion of the time and tailgate on. Sorry, I got distracted by the game. We'll have a good tailgate on Saturday before the game, and we're all going to be sitting together. So if you want to come, you want to participate, you want to come have fun with us and tailgate and sit with us at the game, we will be, but the tickets are available for only $5. That's $5. $5 if you go to the Facebook event page, Heckler Hayes Alumni Reunion Game. Go ahead and grab those tickets on there. And then there's also T-shirts available for that weekend as well. There'll be food. There'll be drinks. Free drinks, free food. So a lot of stuff happening during that tailgate. And then also $1 beers is what we heard, I think, this past weekend, potentially. For those who sit in that section. So that's dangerous. I don't care who you are. That's dangerous. So $1 beers is on the docket. So that's February 18th. All right. And then Dennis will be there. Well, hell, if Dennis is there, then that means it's going to be a hell of a day.
Can't wait again, Dennis.
I'm excited, Dennis. Excited. And then that very next weekend is our Sunday Fun Day tailgate that we are hosting. We're meeting with alumni this next week coming up to see if we can have some tents donated, some food, maybe potentially from someone, drinks, etc. So Sunday Fun Day tailgate will be on the February 26th game. We want to tailgate for this game because we're doing it for our alumni auction award winner, Richard Boyer, who is the mayor of the Colony in Dallas area. So This is for you, Richard. And then also because it is the ESPN U live game, nationally televised. Shit. Casey just went ahead. Anyway, nationally televised game. So we gotta get a big crowd for national television. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. So that's a lot going on. We have a lot happening. And of course, we're trying to finalize our plans for WAC Vegas coming up in March. And there's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things, a lot of irons in the fire. So, man, that's a lot of things. Anything on your end?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm just making sure I remembered everything. But yeah, so obviously, as per usual, whenever you go to the games, or if you're coming to the brewery, or if you're going around town in Nacogdoches, if you're wanting to drink a beer, please consider drinking a Purple Lights from Fredoni Brewery. Anytime you support the brewery by drinking a Purple Lights or buying a 6-pack of Purple Lights, anything with Purple Lights, that money goes back, not that whole money, but a portion of that money goes to SFA Athletics. So keep that in mind. Also, whenever you're trying to figure out what to wear for game day, well, I'll tell you what, if you go on to the Pardon Me Alex website and you go to our merch store, there are buku options of game day t-shirts that you can order and you can wear to support your Jacks. If you're like, man, I have the same purple and I wear it all the time, I want something new. Well, go to our website, go to our store, get yourself a new shirt, and also a portion of those proceeds. Here's the thing. Majority of those portions are going to go to our travel budget because, damn it, we need funds to go to all these games and go to all these things. But then there is a portion that goes back to the Purple Lights Fund as well. So it helps the Purple Lights Fund, helps athletics, helps the Lumberjacks, all the above. Okay? Last thing. I know there's a lot. Last thing is make sure you're following us on all social media and make sure that whenever you are riding around town and you see these badass purple My Plates, you go order yourself one. I think I convinced someone to order My Plates because I told him to go to our website and look for our merch stuff. And he said, I scrolled down and I saw the My Plates and now I'm looking for a My Plates.
Awesome. Love to see it.
Love to see it. He goes, I put in a bunch of different things and all of my options were available. And I was like, well, I think it's just meant to be then.
That's cool. Who was it?
It was, I think it was Travis Johnson.
Okay.
So if you're listening, Travis,
we got him all hooked up, man.
we got you hooked up, my brother. Anytime, anything you need, we'll help you out.
Gonna get a license plate. He's gonna get all hooked up.
All of it. All of it. We're getting you hooked up, my friend. So get yourself hooked up as well. Get yourself a My Plate. Go to www.myplates.com/lumberjacks. And man, hook your car up and make your ride look fly. I know I'm super lazy and cool. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you for listening. We got this in under an hour. Hopefully, you guys will join us tomorrow at some point. We'll post it whenever we decide. We look at our calendars and figure out when we can record tomorrow. Listen to our amazing, detailed recap of the Seattle game because, man, what a game that was. We're excited to talk about that one. It was a big game with major implications for us in seeding and for the WAC conference tournament, and, of course, just for in general. So, can't wait to talk about that one. And, man, we hope you guys have a great night. Have a good week this week. We won't be back in the Sawmill basically for 3 weeks. It's going to be freaking disastrous to my mental state. Literally until February 15th. We have away games. The next 3 games are away. And I am distraught.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute. Yeah.
So February 15th, we're back in the Sawmill. So that's a long time from now. It's not even February yet. Anyway, all right. Y'all have a wonderful night. Have a good week, like I said. And as always, Alex and Jacks.
With Alex and Jacks.